7th District Congressman Sean Duffy was in Spooner Monday afternoon for a town hall meeting. Before addressing a small, mostly Republican crowd, he awarded Spooner High School senior Luke Riesenstahl a congressional commendation for being accepted into the U.S. Naval Academy.
Here from the 7th District. Now, they have to get a nomination from their congressman or their senator, and then they also have to have the background and ability to be accepted to the academy as well. This was my first time going through this process, and this is the first time I've been here with one of our folks who has been successful through that process. Luke went through a whole interview process. We bring a whole bunch of community members, veterans, and we make our young men and women who apply go through a pretty rigorous process. And Luke was absolutely fantastic through that process. Impressed everybody, and I'm honored to have nominated him to the Naval Academy. And he has a stellar application and was accepted to the Naval Academy. So today, as we start off our town hall, I want to offer Luke congressional recognition for being accepted to the Naval Academy. Luke, come on up. Over the summer, we've been introducing a lot of jobs bills. I don't know if you guys have heard much about that, but we're talking about trying to reduce the regulatory burden on a lot of our job creators, our small businesses, our manufacturers. We're trying to explore more American energy, increase our supply. It increases our revenue stream, and it increases our jobs here in America, and leaves us less dependent on foreign sources of energy. We passed a budget, and I think you can hear a lot about the budget. If you want to talk about the budget in more detail later, I'll be happy to do that. But we've passed two budgets out of the House, and we're proud of that because they're budgets that actually balance, budgets that will put us on a trajectory to at one point have a balance between how much we bring into the federal coffers and how much we spend. You'll hear that the president has proposed a couple different budgets, but never balances. The Senate hasn't introduced a budget in over 3 years. So, given bold leadership, trying to tell people this is some ideas of where we need to go if we're going to balance the federal books. Recently, at the close of the year last year, have you guys heard of congressional insider trading? So, Peter Schweitzer wrote a book called Throw 'Em All Out, or Throw 'Em Out, I believe. And they did a 60-minute special on it. I'm not sure if anyone saw it. But basically, there was some issues with members of Congress personally benefiting from their position as a member of Congress. People who would be able to use information garnered as a member of Congress, the position that you've given them, and they were able to then benefit financially from that position. It's outrageous, absolutely outrageous that someone would benefit from the honor of serving. And so I introduced a very simple but very clear bill that if you are going to trade stock, trade bonds, you need to put your assets into a blind trust. So there's a clear wall between you and the information you obtain as a member of Congress and the information that's being used to trade your account. And then if you didn't want to do that, you could actually aggressively disclose. So you'd have to disclose within 3 days of every trade. So if you want to do it yourself, and say Bill Gates from Microsoft comes in and sees you in your office, and 3 days later you're buying Microsoft stock, you all or the media might go, hey, what did Bill Gates tell you? Transparency, I think, truly disinfects. And that's what my bill was. Very simple. I included the executive branch, people in the administration would be included. Peter Schweitzer, the whistleblower who wrote the book, said this was the best bill that came up. It goes the furthest. And though my version was called the Restrict Act, wasn't the one that eventually passed, the ideas that I incorporated in my bill were the ideas that actually strengthened the final bill that passed. The final bill included a blind trust, like we had proposed. It included the executive branch. And I didn't get a 3-day disclosure time period, but I was able to get it down from 90 days down to 30 days. So we helped strengthen the bill, and I was proud of that, making sure we're cleaning up the way Washington works, trying to prevent anyone from benefiting from the honor of service. Then one other bill I did at the end of the year was the federal employees on average make 16% more than their counterparts in the private sector. Thought that was unacceptable. So there's been a 2-year pay freeze on federal employees. I extended it, my bill extended it 1 more year, so the pay freeze would extend 1 additional year. The last pay freeze didn't include members of Congress, miraculously. My bill did. I included members of Congress to make sure their pay would be frozen just like every other federal employee. So that also passed the House, debated, passed the House, and went over to the Senate. That one actually did get through. But still, trying to bring parity between the private sector and the public sector. And so you're not making far more money as a pay package as a federal employee than you would in the private sector. Very quickly on my Restrict Act that I was able to partake with on the congressional insider trading stuff. I had an opportunity to go to the White House and be there for the bill signing, which was pretty neat. Though they positioned someone that was about 6'3" and right in front of me. Still need to be there. So those are some of the things I've been up to. Trying to harness the growth and size of government, making sure we have a sustainable government, and trying to promote pro-growth jobs bills, but then also try to clean the place up.